Only on Eyewitness News tonight, fighting domestic violence before it turns deadly. Too often, cases of domestic violence end in homicide, and too often there were warning signs that could have prevented it. Now, local doctors are on the front lines exposing the red flags that could signal a victim is at risk of being killed. Eyewitness News anchor Shannon Heggie is here now revealing what those signs are so that you too can recognize them and ultimately help save a life.
Kelly, I sat down with two survivors who say they barely escaped with their lives after years of abuse, which oftentimes went ignored by others.
It was always him throwing stuff at me. He would hit me with wire hangers.
He would bite me, burned me with boiling water. What he would do, he would get very angry, is punch me in the face.
I wish there was somebody that to just tell me that I wasn't alone.
I just wish that they would notice or catch on.
The painful memories of being trapped in an abusive relationship are still fresh for these domestic violence survivors. Jennifer was 16 years old when she started dating her abuser, a man she says knew to hit her where others wouldn't see the bruises. Allie, who doesn't want to show her face or share her real name, was with her abuser for a year before she became pregnant and he became violent. She says her face became his punching bag. Explain to us kind of what your injuries looked like.
So my eye would be swollen and up, down, probably half of my cheek would be completely swollen and red, bruised.
Their stories may be different, but these women say what they felt was very much the same. Alone, scared, and hoping someone would help free them. According to a study from the National Institute of Justice, intimate partner homicides make up 50% of all murders of women in the U.S. And in 70 to 80% of domestic violence murders, the man physically abused the woman before the murder. That's why local physicians like Dr. Amy Gottlieb at Women and Infants Hospital are taking a more proactive approach to stopping domestic violence first by making a few questions standard at the beginning of every doctor's appointment.
Is anyone threatening or hurting you? Is anyone hitting, kicking, choking, or hurting you physically? And is anyone forcing you to do something sexually you don't want to do?
And second, identifying suspicious injuries, so no seemingly harmless bruise goes unquestioned.
Very good research shows that women may not disclose that they're being abused during a one-time patient encounter. If she's asked multiple times, she's more likely to disclose if she's being hurt.
There's also a checklist to help identify women who may be at risk of being killed. According to researchers at Johns Hopkins University, certain types of injuries or actions are a red flag. Here are some of the warning signs. A victim is threatened with a weapon. A partner verbally threatens to kill her. A victim is forced to have sex with her partner. And the most deadly physical clue, signs of choking or strangulation. A relationship where a woman has been strangled is 10 times more likely to end fatally. Some telltale signs of strangulation: scratches, redness, or bruises around the neck, voice changes, and difficulty swallowing or breathing. Allie says while the physical signs of her abuse were obvious, even her midwife never asked about it.
I remember wishing that she had asked me, but I was too afraid to say something because I was afraid of I didn't know what she would do with the information.
Knowing the warning signs, it could be a friend, a loved one, even a doctor who steps in. Jen still remembers the doctor at Women and Infants Hospital's Domestic Violence Task Force who helped free her.
It was the first time that I had a doctor that actually took that time personally away from everybody else, not in front of him.
Doctors tell us intervention is key for getting these victims out of their abusive relationships, but follow-up is also essential. I'm Shannon Heggie, Eyewitness News.
Now, coming up later tonight, Shannon Heggie will be back with more information about the network of services available here in Rhode Island to victims of this kind of violence. Fighting domestic violence continues tonight on Eyewitness News at 11.